Well, we discussed about the development of the term culture or the concept culture through Latin, then in French and English, and at the same time, we talked about its use in German, the German language. And then we understand that the term was used to refer to the physical existence of the things, or it had the physical reference. But beyond the physical reference, means there are three broad active categories of usage according to Raymond Williams. Is apart from the meanings that we understand, there are three broad active categories of the usage of the term culture. And he states that the sources of two of these categories we have already discussed. Means we have discussed its origin in Latin, then in French and German. So these three categories are, uh, discussed by Raymond Williams here. The first one is the independent and abstract noun of the term culture. That is the first category. Second one is the independent noun, and third one is the independent and abstract noun, which describes something else. Now we shall understand how these categories are described by Raymond Williams. So firstly says that the term culture has to be understood in the category of as the independent and abstract noun. So this independent and abstract noun describes a general process of intellectual, spiritual, and aesthetic development. So, culture, the term or the concept culture, is used to describe a general process of intellectual, spiritual, and aesthetic development. And this happened from 18th century. Okay. Means when we use the term culture, when we say somebody is cultured, then time we mean that the person is intellectually, developed. The person has some spiritual and aesthetic developments too. Okay, so all these three aspects are taken into consideration when we use the term culture as an independent and abstract noun. And this particular usage started in the 18th century. Then he talks about the second category, in which it is used simply as the independent noun. Now, whether this noun is used generally or specifically, means culture in general or culture in particular, means in whatever context we use. Means when we talk about culture in general, or suppose we talk about Indian culture, we talk about Marathi culture, that is specific, or culture in general, means any culture. So it is used as an independent noun to indicate a particular way of life. As soon as we say what is culture, we define it as a way of life. So this is a very general understanding of the term culture. Now you need to understand that in the first category we understood culture as the independent and abstract noun. For example, when we say the person has got a good culture, he belongs to a good culture. Now here, Miss, I'm sorry for the use of article here. His culture is good one. Then time we are referring to the intellectual, spiritual, and aesthetic development. But when we talk about culture in general, we are referring to a particular way of life. It is the independent noun. Means we are talking about the way of life of a people or a particular period or a group of people or humanity in general. And this discussion started with the German philosopher and thinker Herder and even another philosopher claim. We refer to these two philosophers in yesterday's lecture. It was Herder who attacked the term culture in the context of European superiority. So he rejected such kind of thinking, such kind of notions. Okay, he said we should think about culture in its plurality. We should talk about culture in its plurality, not simply in terms of its superiority and in terms of its what we call inferiority. No culture is inferior and no culture is superior. That's what he thought, and he started talking about the plurality of culture. Now let's have another category. Miss Williams recognizes the third category here. So he says the independent and abstract noun which describes the works and practices of intellectual and especially artistic activity. Look, now we understood culture in three broad categories of usage. These are active categories of usage, means they are in use. The first category, when we use culture as the independent and abstract noun, we refer to a general process of intellectual, spiritual, and aesthetic development. For example, we say cultural development. When we say we have to take care of. Now, here cultural is adjective, but I'm referring to the use of the term culture as an independent and abstract noun. We understand the spiritual, intellectual, and aesthetic development of a person we can say. Secondly, whether we are using in general or in particular, it refers to a particular way of life as the independent noun. That is the second category. Means we talk about the culture of India, Indian culture, world culture. So then time we are referring to culture of humanity in general or culture of people. It is a way of life. So it can be the way of life of people of any nation, of a people of any nation, of a period, of any period we can say. We are not restricting it to a particular period. Then means we can refer to a culture of a group or humanity in general. But here he is talking about the third category as well. Means in this category, for example, we say we talk about food culture, we talk about literature, etc. So that is again culture as a category, which is used as the independent abstract noun. So this particular category is used to describe the works and practices of intellectual and especially artistic activity. So we say, classical culture. So we refer to culture as particular music as culture. Means it is associated with culture. Culture is music, culture is literature, culture is painting. Means when we understand culture, we understand the music of that given culture, the literature of the given culture, the painting and sculpture of the given culture, theater and film. All these aspects are understood. So they refer to the practices, works and practices of intellectual and especially artistic activity. So when we say India has a great culture of classical music, a great culture of literature, So this is the independent and abstract noun. So we refer to all these aspects. Now, in the context of the UK, Raymond Williams says that a ministry of culture. Now, in India as well, we have a ministry of culture. So, a ministry of culture refers to these specific activities. When we talk about the ministry of culture in a given nation, we refer to culture with reference to music, or we use culture with reference to music, literature, painting, etc. So all these specific activities are included, and even the activity means even philosophy, scholarship, history is also added to this particular category. We can say. So the third one, this use of the third category is a very recent one. We have been talking about the development of the term culture historically. Means we started from Latin, then English, we refer to French and German too. Okay, then we went on talking about the usage of the term culture in different periods. But 18th century onwards, the term culture meant the process of intellectual, spiritual, and aesthetic development. Secondly, it refers to the particular way of life. And thirdly, it refers to the works and practices of intellectual and artistic activities. Okay, this third usage, the third category, is relatively late. It is a recent usage, we can say. And Williams thinks that it is difficult to date precisely. Means we can't say when this term came in use in the third category. Means to refer to the things in the third category. So there is no particular or specific or precise date as such, because it is in origin and an applied form of sense. Okay. In the first category, we can say, means we refer to the idea of a general process of intellectual, spiritual, and aesthetic development, and this particular was applied and effectively transferred to the works and practices which represent and sustain it. So the influence of the first category made to think about the works and practices representing the intellectual, spiritual, and aesthetic development of a given period or a given group of people, we can say. So there is this is the correlation. Therefore, there is no specific or precise date as such to talk about the third category. As we talked about, for example, the usage of the first category, the independent and abstract noun, which was started to refer to a general process of intellectual, spiritual, and aesthetic development in 18th century. We can talk about the date, but there is no specific date or precise date to talk about the third category. That's what he says. But this category, the third category, is also developed from the earlier sense of process as well. We refer to the origin of the term culture from the process of cultivation. Okay, and from that sense, we started referring to the progressive culture of fine arts as we refer to the cultivation of crop, taming of animals, tendering of animals, etc. In the same manner, we started talking about progressive culture of fine arts. So here he refers to Miller's work, Historical View of the English Government, the fourth volume. and he gives even the page number of that book, in which he uses this particular phrase, progressive culture of fine arts. Okay, so in English, now he talks about these categories in English. In English, the second and third are still clothes. Sorry, the first and third, I mean to say. Is the development, intellectual, spiritual, and aesthetic development, and what we say about the works and practices of intellectual or artistic activity. So these two categories are very close in English. There are reasons for it because they are indistinguishable. As you know, Arnold talks about it in his Culture and Anarchy. It is the book by Matthew Arnold. In this particular classical work on culture, Matthew Arnold talks about the sameness of the first category and the third category. According to Matthew Arnold, these two categories are indistinguishable. They cannot be separated. They are one and same. Whereas the second sense was introduced into English by Taylor, and we come across this usage in his book Primitive Culture of 1870, and he follows the German philosopher and thinker Klein to introduce this particular sense to the English people. We know the second sense. What is the second sense? The way, a particular way of life. It can be a people, a period, a group, or a humanity in general. Or humanity in general. So, following Klein, it was Taylor who introduced. I've given the references here. You can see Taylor Edward, Primitive Culture, Researches into the Development of Mythology. So this is the title of the book, in which he introduces the term culture with this sense, thus in the sense of the second category. Okay. So the decisive development of third sense or third category in English was in the last period of a century. So he refers to the last period of the 19th century and first period of 20th century. Means during the, you can see the book by Taylor was published in the year 1870. Okay, but we are referring to the third sense here. In English, this sense came to be used in the last period of the 19th century and first period of the 20th century. So we see that there is a complication in understanding the term culture. Means there is a very complex and very active history of the term culture. And Raymond Williams thinks that it is easy to react by selecting one true or proper scientific sense and dismissing other senses as loose or confused. Okay, means it is easy to react to these senses by selecting one true or proper or scientific, in quotation marks, in these words, by dismissing other senses as loose or confused. And there is evidence of this reaction in the excellent study by Kroeber and Clarkon. The title of the work is Culture, a Critical Review of Concepts and Definitions. So in this book, usage in North American anthropology is in effect taken as a norm. In this book, these two authors take the meaning of culture in the context of North American anthropology. So you might be knowing, Claude Lévi-Strauss, etc., started analyzing culture by using structuralism. We understood it in the last semester. So there was a development of anthropology, and anthropology studies, all kind of matters related to mankind, and culture is one of such matters, we can say. So they go back to the North American anthropology and discussion. There are many other aspects that we shall discuss in the next lecture. But from this discussion so far, means we understand that in anthropology, especially, the conceptual usage of the term culture has to be clarified because it has the range of meanings, and the overlap of these meanings is very significant. There is a kind of overlap in the meaning. Therefore, we need to understand this complexity of the term culture. We shall have a discussion on these aspects in our next lecture. We shall stop for now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.